Ezekiel 1 through 3. Now it came to pass in the 13th year, in the 4th month, on the first day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river Chebar, the heavens were opened, and I saw a vision of God. In the 5th of the month, which was the 5th year of King Jehoiakim's captivity, the word of Yahweh came to Ezekiel the Kohen, the son of Buzi, in the land of Casdim, by the river Chebar, and the hand of Yahweh was there on him. Then I looked, behold, a stormy wind came out of the north, great cloud with flashing lightning, and a brightness around it, and out of the midst of it was glowing metal, out of the midst of the fire. Out of its center came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. Every one had 4 faces, and each one of them had 4 wings. Their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like varnished bronze. They had the hands of a human man under their wings, on their 4 sides, and on the 4 of them had their faces and their wings like this. Their wings were joined to one another. They did not turn when they went. Each one went straight forward. As for the likeness of their faces, they had the face of a man. The 4 of them had the face of a lion on the right side. The 4 of them had the face of an ox on the left side. The 4 of them also had the face of an eagle. Such were their faces. Their wings were spread out above. 2 wings of each one touched another, and 2 covered their bodies. Each one went straight forward. Where the Ruach was to go, they went. They did not turn when they went. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, like the appearance of torches. The fire went up and down among the living creatures. The fire was bright, and lightning went out with the fire. The living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. Now as I saw the living creatures, behold, there was one wheel on the earth beside the living creatures, for each of the 4 faces of it. The appearance of the wheels and their work was like a beryl. The 4 of them had one likeness. Their appearance and their work was as were the wheel within a wheel. When they went in their 4 directions. They did not turn when they went. As for their rims, they were high and dreadful. And the 4 of them had their rims full of eyes all around them. When the living creatures went, the wheels went beside them. When the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Wherever the Ruach was to go, they went. The Ruach was to go there. The wheels were lifted up beside them, for the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. When those went, they went. And when those stood, those stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up beside them. For the wheels of the living creature was in the wheels. Over the head of the living creature was like the likeness of an expanse, each an awesome crystal to look at, stretched out over their heads above. Under the expanse their wings were straight, one toward another, and each one 2 which covered on the side, and each one had 2 which covered their bodies on that side. When they went, I heard the noise of their wings like the noise of great waters, like the voice of Shaddai, a noise of tumult, like the noise of an army. When they stood, they let down their wings, and there was a voice from above the expanse that was over their heads. When they stood, they let down their wings, and above the expanse that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of sapphire stone. On the likeness of the throne was a likeness of the appearance of man on it above. I saw as it were glowing metal, as the appearance of fire within it all around, from the appearance of his waist and upward, and from the appearance of his waist and downward, I saw as it were the appearance of fire, and there was brightness all around him, as the appearance of the rainbow that is in the cloud in the day of rain. So was the appearance of brightness all around. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of Yahweh. When I saw it, I fell on my face, and I heard the voice of one that spoke. And he said to me, Son of man, stand on your feet, and I will speak with you. The Ruach entered into me when he spoke to me, and set me on my feet. And I heard him who spoke to me. He said to me, Son of man, I send you to the sons of Israel, to a nation of rebels who have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me even to this very day. The children are impudent and stiff-hearted. I am sending you to them, and you shall tell them, this is what Adonai, Yahweh, says. They whether they will hear, or whether they will refuse, for they are a rebellious house, yet they will know that there has been a prophet among them. You, son of man, do not be afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words. Though briars and thorns are with you, and you dwell among scorpions, do not be afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks, though they are a rebellious house. And you shall speak my words to them, whether they will hear and whether they will refuse, for they are most rebellious. But you, son of man, hear what I tell you. Do not be rebellious, like the rebellious house. Open your mouth and eat that which I give you. When I looked, behold, a hand was stretched out to me, and behold, a scroll of a book was in it. He spread it before me, as it was written within and without, and lamentations, mournings, and woe were written in it. And he said to me, Son of man, eat what you find. Eat this scroll and go. Speak to the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat the scroll. And he said to me, Son of man, cause your belly to eat, and fill your bowels with the scroll that I give you. Then I ate it, and it was sweet as honey in my mouth. And he said to me, Son of man, go to the house of Israel, and speak my words to them. For they are not sent to a people of a strange speech and of hard language, but to the house of Israel, not to many peoples of strange speech and of a hard language, those words you cannot understand. Surely, if I sent you to them, they would listen to you. But the house of Israel will not listen to you, for they will not listen to me. For all the house of Israel have a hard forehead and a stubborn heart. Behold, I have made your face hard against their faces, and your forehead hard against their foreheads. I have made their forehead as a diamond, harder than flint. Do not be afraid of them, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they are a rebellious house. Moreover, he said to me, Son of man, receive in your heart and hear with your ears all my words that I speak to you. Go to them of captivity, to the children of your people, and speak to them and tell them, this is what Adonai Yahweh says, whether they will hear or whether they will refuse. Then the Ruach lifted me up, and heard behind me the voice of a great rushing, saying, Blessed be the glory of Yahweh from his place. I heard the noise of the wings of the living creatures as they touched one another, and the noise of the wheels beside them, even the noise of the great rushing. So the Ruach lifted me up and took me away. I went in bitterness, in the heat of my spirit, and the hand of Yahweh was strong on me. Then I came to them of the captivity at Tel Aviv, that they lived by the river Chebar, and to where they lived, and I sat there overwhelmed among them 7 days. At the end of the 7 days the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, I have made you a watchman to the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word from my mouth, and warn them for me. When I tell the wicked, you will surely die, and you give them no warning, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked ways, to save his life, that wicked man will die in his iniquity, but I will require his blood at your hand. Yet, if you warn the wicked, and he does not turn from his wickedness, nor from his wicked ways, he will die in his iniquity, but you have delivered your soul. Again, when a righteous man turns from his righteousness and commits iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he will die, because you have not given him warning. He will die in his sin, and his righteous deeds which he has done will not be remembered. But I will require his blood at your hand. Nevertheless, if you warn the righteous man that the righteous not sin, and he does not sin, he will surely live, because he took warning, and you have delivered your soul. And the hand of Yahweh was there on me, and he said to me, Arise, go out into the plain, and I will talk with you there. So I arose, and went out into the plain, and behold, the glory of Yahweh stood there, like the glory which I saw by the river Chebar, and I fell on my face. Then the Ruach entered into me, and set me on my feet. He spoke with me, and said to me, Go, shut yourself inside your house. But you, son of man, behold, they will put ropes on you, and will bind you with them, and you will not go out among them. And I will make your tongue stick to the roof of your mouth, that you will be mute, and will not be able to correct them, for they are a rebellious house. But when I speak with you, I will open your mouth, and you will tell them, This is what Adonai Yahweh says. He who hears, let him hear, and he who refuses, let him refuse, for they are a rebellious house.